welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and you know what they say about curiosity killing off the feline population? Well, I was sitting around there a while ago thinking, you know, which is pretty dangerous for a redneck, and I got to thinking, I've got this thread micrometer here from Shars, and well, you don't see the paper, but anyway, I've got this little thing, and I haven't necessarily used it in cutting a thread. And a lot of times when I cut a thread, well, I'll take a nut and I'll check it to see if I'm about there, you know. And I guess, you know, that works, but I figured, what if I don't have a nut? And if I just use the thread micrometer, well, I'll make a good thread. So I sort of did a double check on it today. And also I got to thinking about feeding straight in with the threading tool instead of using the compound at the 29.5 degree angle. Just feeding straight in with the, you know, the cross feed until the end of the thread. So what I did was I got busy and I made this little thing right here, and it's the thread, the nut screws on both ends. And I did one end using the compound, and I did the other end feeding it straight in. And that's pretty much what I'm going to show you, and we'll see how it all comes out from there. No Bubba joke. Bubba said it was too hot to do anything today, and I agree with him. So it's just a little, hopefully very short video to show you what I learned playing with the threads. Alright, let's get on with it. It's another hot Sunday in Texas, and according to my thermometer here, it's 78 degrees here in the garage because I've got that guy. And I've got where I pretty much just leave him running most of the time so that I don't have to come out and wait for it to get cool or whatever. Probably wasteful as everything. And I started insulating the place, and I stopped right there last year. Now I've got all this stuff still left to go all the way around this side, all the way to the front door. What of it I can reach anyway. That ought to make it a lot easier to keep it cool in here, because that air conditioner's more than twice the size that they calculate from the rule of thumb based on how many square feet you got. And it just barely can keep up. In fact, long toward the end of this month and in August, it won't keep up at all. And I got it set on 71 degrees. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the set point there, 71. Maybe you can read that. And it's 78, so you can see it's not keeping up. But that's not what I'm doing here anyway. I come out on here on a Sunday afternoon because I shot the Steel Challenge today, and I felt like I did pretty good, and I did. For me, I was probably only twice as long as the good shots. You know, I figure they probably get in the 60 and 70 second range for shooting all 5 stages, and I got 141. But that's a big improvement over what I did last year, and I felt good about it. Anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of threading here. I bought this book. I don't know where it's at now. Hang on, I'll go find it. Anyway, I bought that book because they made such a big deal out of it on the Bar Z thing, and I haven't used it much of any, but I'm going to do some threading by the chart in it if it's got enough information. And my jury's still out on it because I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff in there on Whitworth threads, and I'm probably never going to lay eye on a Whitworth thread again unless somebody gives me a good running old British motorcycle or something, and you know that ain't going to happen. So, but anyway, I'm going to try making a 1/2 inch 13 thread, cut it on the lathe, and I'm just going to plunge in. I'm not going on the 29 degree stuff. I'm just going to plunge straight in with it just to see how it works out. So I'm going to get it all set up, and I'll be back in a minute and we'll get started. Now, when I decided I was going to go ahead and buy the book, I did an online search, You can get this thing from Walmart and Amazon and just about everybody that sells a book. I got it from Zorro. Yeah, I said Zorro, not the gay blade of movies and TV, but they spell their company name Z-O-R-O, and they're somewhere here in Houston. Not sure where, but if I get online and order something before noon, it'll be at my house tomorrow afternoon sometime. The brown truck of happiness will just roll up there and drop that in your front door. And so far I've never paid more than $5 shipping. And there's the book. I ordered it one day, there it was the next day. So, and it shows the measurements for a half 13. So that's what we're going to try to do, and we're going to use the Schar's thread micrometers to do it. So y'all hang loose and we'll get started. Alright, I got a piece of soft steel here, which I figure is 5/8, and it's mild steel. There's nothing wonderful about it. And I don't want to set it for threading yet because I haven't got it turned down to 1/2 inch. I can get the gears back together. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try the turner down to 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to push straight into the thread, no compound stuff or anything, and see how that comes out. I'm pretty sure I saw Bruce Whitman do that. So I'll be back in just a minute once I get her down to 1/2 inch. Okay, so the book here says that for half 13, the basic effective diameter is 0.450 inches, and it says the basic minor diameter of an external thread is 0.4056. So we're going to work on that. When we get to 0.450, we're going to check it with a nut, and then when we get to 0.4056, we'll check it again. I'm trying to see if I can just use that thread micrometer without anything to check and see if the thread size is good. Maybe it could be something that an old redneck can't figure out, you know. But anyway, let's see how fast this thing's going. Might be too fast. I think I'll slow it down about 1 belt notch. That's still pretty fast, but I think I can handle that. Alright, give me some tap oil. This is genuine Acme thread cutting oil. It's recommended by Wile E. Coyote. Wiley likes it, I like it. But we're going to make a little scratch here. I'll run in about 3 thousandths. And well, that moves fast, doesn't it? I'm chickening out. I'm going down another belt notch. Alright. We'll make a little cut and find out how good it is. That comes along there pretty quick. Alright, let me get my thread gauge. Alright, I'll be back when I find the thread gauge. Okay, so there we go. I don't know if you can read that, but it should say 13 threads per inch. Anyway, I'm going to check it here. And it looks like 13 to me. I had the darn thing right here in the chip pan, which I guess is why I couldn't find it. But here we go again. Take a big cut. I'm pretty sure I saw Mr. Whitman do this in 3 cuts. Well, that screws on and it seems to have a reasonable fit. Alright, let's measure it with this little fella here. See what it says. It's about 441. Yeah, by my measurements that's about 441, and it fits. So I guess now I'll turn this thing around in here and thread the other side using the compound like you're supposed to, and then maybe we'll take pictures of them and compare the 2 threads. That could be a good way. So you all just hang loose a minute. Okay, this time we're going to cut the thread by feeding in with the compound with it set on 29.5 degrees. And I'll be back after I double check that setting. Yes, it's set there. I guess I should have just trusted myself once. That's probably a perfect fit. Measure it. Well, that's 443, and I think that fits pretty good. I'll run a little emery paper across it. Well, having done that, I guess I can be reasonably sure that I can use that threading micrometer to cut a thread without worrying about, about whether or not it's going to fit, even if I don't have a nut to check it with. I don't have any of the wires. I guess I ought to order them, but thread micrometer ought to be just as good. It's a whole lot easier to hold than wires. Alright, I will wind this up, and I'll take this thing and I'll cut it in half. I'll cut this in half, and then we can look at the thread, shape of the threads, and see. Well, I don't even have to cut it in half. We'll just look at the shape of the threads. I got the threading tool here. Alright, I think I can set it where you can see it. Well, somewhere here. There we go. Darn. Is it going to focus or not? I believe you can see, though, that it fits the thread gauge pretty darn good. Turn it over to the side that I did just the plunge cutting in, and I guess it fits pretty good there too. I may have to look at this video from another angle. Let me put it in here. You're focused good there, so put it in there, run it around. You see what I'm saying? It looks like it fits just fine in the thread gauge. Turn it around the other way, and it looks like it fits just fine there too. So, alright, so either way seems to work. That's interesting. Alright, we're going to knock it off.